Hi guys, Mr. Rain here and welcome to the United Kingdom Jurassic Challenge. As you can see there, it took me 7 hours 45 minutes, which is a lot quicker than other videos I have seen online, so that was pretty cool. I do implement the summary mode about halfway through, and this means that I won't be showing the intricate things like the amenities and sorting those out, making them earn a bit more money, but I will show you the dinosaurs released, the buildings that I build, and the research that I do, so it just makes the video a lot quicker. Also, a quick note before we start. All this over here, the cash is 0, guys, so the start of this is very difficult, but if you follow the steps that I'm going to show you, you should be able to smash this out. It's always going to be difficult to get that initial profit running, but we get there in the end, and we do it in a pretty good under par time as well. Just a reminder, guys, if you are wanting to join the Discord group for this game, it's much easier for me to help you if you show me screenshots, which is why it's a free subscriber Discord group, so email me from the description and I can send you a link to that. Right, so at the start you can see straight away that the park failed, and we're going to be trunking dinosaurs and selling them to get our initial money. And the things you do in the beginning are very vital. You're either going to make it within half an hour or you're not going to make it. But I want to show you exactly what I did and the dinosaurs I started with and the ones I sold. So we're going to speed this up quite drastically. Over here you've got the Dracorex in the corner, and I did use them for a little bit on one of my first runs, but it's not necessarily the cohabitation that is the issue. I mean, it will be an issue, but like an example for this is I can put these guys in with the NIGERSAURUS, which is what I do at the first run, but then it's about the space for their feeding. It's about having enough area to actually provide the sustenance that they need, and that's where the issue comes into it. So as before, in the description you're going to have a detailed timeline of everything I did in the order that I did it, and you can check down there if you want a text guide for pretty much what I'm doing here. And if you do use that, then guys, do us a favor and just keep the video on silent and let it play, because we need the monies to keep doing this. So over there is the Baryonyx, or the Suchomimus was the Baryonyx, I think. But again, this is something you're going to do anyway, which is why I'm just fast forwarding it. Trank all the dinosaurs, and then I'm going to explain which ones I sell, which ones we keep. So over here you've got a hatchery and pretty much defeated paddock, and we're going to use the hatchery definitely. I'm not quite sure why I didn't move the power supply station over here, the backup generator, but those things are terrible and they chow your money. So we're going to keep the hatchery, and you can only remove the hatchery once it's completely repaired. So again, it's going to be brutal. And the most vital tip at the start of this is your storm defense. So if I did this again, I probably could have done it, or I could probably do it in a much more reduced time because of the storm defense. I took too long to get those onto my building, and repairing a building that is storm defense is sometimes up to 200,000 for the hatchery, 300,000 for the innovation center. So I know you can't put a storm defense on there, but getting the storm defense up should be your most vital goal, along with everything else that I'm doing over here at the moment. So the Baryonyx, the Dracorex, I sell them all. The Ceratopsid over here, which is the NASUTOCERSTOPS, I wanted to use as well, and I think I do use them. But I don't use them straight away. Thinking about it now, I do release them into the same paddock as the NIGERSAURUS, which is what I use. So I'm not sure why I sold them. Maybe just at the beginning it was something I needed to do. But I do put the NIGERSAURUS right here. These two dinosaurs are my first starting dinosaurs. We're going to put them in that paddock just on the left over there at the start. That's the only one we're going to use at the moment. So also getting power to the initial area is going to be difficult. And the first time that storm hits, wow, this is absolutely going to destroy you. But over here, this is the furthest area. We're going to delete or demolish all the fences. Thinking about it now, I'll probably delete the backup power supply over there, because you have to repair it to be able to move it. As you can see, there is one over here that you do repair. This paddock as well, we're going to delete it all. Whatever was in there must have been tiny, maybe a Coeleophysis or a Compsognathus. Who knows? But it's quite evident at the start now why this failed, because these storms are brutal. Right, so repairing in the beginning is actually quite vital. So I think I don't repair that yet. We need to get an up and running park before the amenity is going to take any effect at all. So we're going to go straight to the fences over here. We're going to repair them. We're going to fast forward this as well. I managed to get an 8-hour video down into 2 hours without losing any vital information for you guys. I want to say thanks so much for all the awesome comments and stuff on my other videos, my tutorials. I've been waiting such a long time to be able to do this. It's my favorite kind of tutorial where I'm just, disseminating information left, right, and center to get you guys there. Right, so we're going to move the viewing gallery in that position there. And we do expand the paddocks and we build 1, 2, 3, 4, in the end 5 paddocks plus the lagoon. But as I'll explain when we get closer to the end, I really didn't have to do all the paddocks on the last bit of land in the top right corner where the hatchery is, because we only released one dinosaur in there, Giganotosaurus I think it is, and we popped anyway the 5 stars soon after that. Something else I like doing, which I haven't done yet, is to go to settings and go to gameplay settings and change the day and night cycle just to day. And I haven't had any effect on any of the nocturnal dinosaurs or any welfare a bump to it, or sorry, minus welfare to it. So that's something I like doing. Also for the video, it makes it much easier to see what's going on. Okay, so we're going to set up our first paddock here. I always like to put the water right in front of the viewing platform. Oh, sorry, that's a viewing gallery. And at the same time, put the food source in that area for starters as well. Okay, so there are my 2 star attractions, the NIGERSAURUS. And we're going to put them straight into the paddock there. Now, what I did mess up for quite a while, actually, and I think I might have kept it in just to let you know. Okay, so I'm fast forwarding this now. I'm selling every other dinosaur on the map because you're going to need that cash. Yeah, so I forgot to repair the actual viewing gallery. And no, not repair, sorry. I forgot to power it because I thought for some reason it wasn't working. So at this point we're going to be, yeah, we're going to choose a contract. We need to get power to the viewing gallery, and I waited for ages wondering why no one was coming in my park. As you can see, I repaired the amenity there, and I was like, why the hell is no one coming in the park? This is because the viewing gallery over there was not powered. Now, I wanted to build a fence from there all the way down to within the range of this power station here, but you have to research fences. So that's going to come at a later stage, and they do it on purpose. Big tip, big new tip is the forest. You see on the left-hand side, the forest I've selected there. If you go up one, you get the very bushy forest. But the other forest, the one down from that, is very sporadic trees. As you can see on the right-hand side there, people can still see the dinosaurs. It's absolutely vital. And I had no idea until the start of this one that I could actually do that. And it's a vital tip to use this forest instead of the other one, so the dinos are always in sight. Okay, here we go. NIGERSAURUS is in there. We're going to get our outpost going there as well. And we're going to get our guys attached to that. We're going to move all that stuff closer to the paddocks. But for now, we are skint. We've got about 400k there, as you can see. So the science center needs to go up as soon as possible. But I would say even before this, guys, before doing this, get another backup power generator and power your viewing gallery over there. The second you do that, you start making money. And this is where my fail was in the beginning, is that I didn't do it. I was doing all this stuff, and I didn't just simply place a backup power generator, which is why it took me a bit longer to start getting cash in. But I managed to skim through. Let's see when I actually realize. Yeah, there it is. Get the damn power there. And again, these things are going to be deleted, so doesn't matter where you put it, just make sure you can power some amenities along that path, as well as the viewing gallery as well. So again, you have to research everything. So the core guest buildings are going to be your shelters and your restrooms. That's got to go ASAP to get your initial park running. So the second that's powered, I'm like, okay, now we're going to the viewing point right here, and there's some people sitting there. Let's go all the way to Jurassic Park and sit at the arrival point. Well, maybe they're waiting for someone. Makes sense. Okay, so the initial amenity, again guys, I'm going to show you where I build amenities and the size of the amenities that I build, but I'm not going to show me doing this over here. This is as a brain dead operation. You just click on the button, go down, and if it's blue, you select it. But at the start of the amenities, like now, the next half an hour, you've got to keep going back because you get different types of guests coming in, and you're able to adjust the amenity to cater for those guests. Now, you don't know what the guests are. You could have a look, but it's easier just to go to the amenity and see which ones they're after. So keep going back to the amenity in early stages, any amenity that you build, you want to keep checking it for at least 15-20 minutes afterwards. So as you can see, we're down to 50k, and we are desperate to get some peoples in here. The people are coming through and they're going the wrong direction. So I thought, okay, well, let's build a path over here. Maybe they'll go towards the viewing gallery and towards the first shop, which is hats. Everyone needs a hat, although it's going to get blown away with the first storm. I did have 2 hurricanes in this, but I did at that point have my concrete buildings up, and I got also a brand new tip for replacing fences, where before you would have to, see there, 200k, I think it was 230k. So you can only move that once you've repaired it. Yeah, so I've got another very good tip on how to replace your fencing. Whereas before you have to trank every dinosaur in the paddock, then replace the fencing, wait for it to finish, and then wake the dinos up. But I've discovered a new way of doing this if you have enough space around the edges to be able to do that without tranking the dinosaurs and without taking a hit on your income. Because if the dinosaurs are tranked, they're pretty much null and void. Okay, so shopping is 3.8. We're getting some profit going in there. Now we want to see, if you look on the left hand side, guys, it tells you potential guests. Massive, massive tip. Like I said in my other videos, see 112, 115 on the bottom left corner there. You want anything for a small amenity above 90 guests or even 80 guests, you will still get a profit. The larger amenities need about 150 to get going. But as you can see there, 115 for drinks is more than enough to place your amenity and to get some more cash flow coming in. Excuse me. So we're looking good at the start. We're repairing our control center over there, and we are looking good money wise. No, I don't show the money just yet. We need the fencing. We desperately need the fencing so we can increase the paddock size as well as create new ones. But at the start, again, going through the amenities again, I'm showing this over and over again because it's something you need to do at the start all the time. But in the near future, we do not show it all the time. It's something you just gotta know. Once again, I'm still playing my sandbox mode for the first time, but I'm loading the save game of each of my Jurassic Challenges playthroughs at the end and releasing all the dinosaurs I can into that park, just releasing and then selling them straight away, just so they unlock for the sandbox mode. And that's what needs to happen, because I've pretty much stopped and moved on to the next one straight away. I didn't bother releasing all the dinosaurs that I could release. So that's what I'm doing at the momentos. But first, before the sandbox gets released, I'm going to do I think there's 2 more challenges, Northwest and Southwest USA. And those are going to be brutal. And I'm going to start that the second I'm done with this commentary. So super amped. Okay, so we are looking good. What we're going to do for a bit of a cash influx here, we are going to take some photos. These guys are actually sauropods, so they're in the Brachiosaurus family. And they are able to cohabitate with a lot of different dinosaurs, the most I've seen in the game so far. They can go with any Ankies, Packies, Ornithomimus. They can go with pretty much anything. But it's not about what they can go with. It's what the dinosaur you're going to put in with them, what they can go with. So it trails on. You have to keep track of what you're going to do. Okay, so we're going to place the hotel as close as we can to the paddock right there, because that is what you want to do. You want them to be able to see the dinosaurs from there. Sorry, my editing program crashed there. Yeah, you want to be able to see as many dinosaurs as you can from the hotels. This should come without having to be told. So there we go. Park rating is up 102k per minute. That's what we want to see, baby. That is what we want to see. So construction or ticket sales, either one of those you're going to be doing. But if you choose construction, they're going to make you do a specific building, and it could be another amenity or something, which you don't want to do now. So we'll just go with the one that will happen over time. Okay, what are we going for? We need the Paleo medical facility. Now, I did end up building 2 of these near the 3/4 of the way through the game, because the oh yeah, this is when I changed the daytime, because the disease is rampant, and a lot of the time you can spend an hour without any disease, and then bang, they come in hordes, and the disease is everywhere. So I did build another Paleo facility to the right hand side, not in this little area here, in front of the lagoon, and that's where he goes. I went with the lagoon again because the aviary I had terrible time with. I'll get back into that in a second. So scientist-wise, you want to go for the most they have, obviously, but not spending too much on the salary. So altruistic salary would be good. These guys are all level 1. So if you just build 1 staff center, you're only able to put 1 more point on them. So at this point, you look at those stats they've got and add 1 of them, because that's all you're going to be able to do. And the scientists, I mean, they do play a big role in this. And I had one scientist with 66k, and I had to fire him because my profit per minute was just not good enough. So there we go. The power supply, the power stations are absolutely vital because you want to get rid of those backup jennies because they are just going to drain you of cash. So we've got some cash here. We're going to move the building now closer to this paddock and the ones that are going to be built on the left-hand side. That's where I put him over there. I put the paleo just next to him as well. And I do move a lot of buildings around. It's the best feature in this game, I would say. I mean, it's amazing. Everything about it is amazing. A couple of glitches here and there, but being able to move buildings is so vital and such a good idea. Such a good feature to put in. Okay, so once we've got the paleo up and the recovery center up, the ranger station at least, then we kind of set, you know. We're able to move forward. So we're going to put a power station down there. Again, that position is fine, but leave everything else in front of that up to the where the backup generator is now. That whole area, you want to put the monorail here at some point, as well as some amenities. So if you can, build them far away. I mean, even build a path onto the next section and put a power station over there. But like I mentioned, this one over here should be okay, because I don't need to move that building. I don't move that anyway. I don't like moving power stations because it just stops your entire park. So we're going to distribute these in such a way where we can get all of these in power, and that looked like a good placement there. Let's hope it sticks to that. And then we can delete our backup jennies because they suck and they drain our cash. Don't know why I put a power line right there, because that one's meant to be attached to the station. Is that the one? I'm not actually sure. No, it isn't. Yeah, so I've got an extra little power line there, which is unnecessary. Surprised I didn't see it. 166k, bring it on. At this point you're like, oh my god, okay, this is possible, but you don't know anything until you've had your first storm, because depending on what gets damaged, it's brutal. It'll cost, like I was saying, hundreds of thousands to repair the innovation center when it comes up, but the hatchery as well, that is over 200,000 to repair, and it's absolutely brutal. You want to get storm defense up and running as soon as possible. Even right now, have a look at how quickly you can do storm defense. It does cost 250k to add that storm of defense, but over the course of the next 2-3 storms or 5 storms, you'll be saving hundreds and hundreds of thousands, and it's definitely more effective early game. Late game, you'll have the cash to repair, but I changed the fences to concrete and put storm defense on pretty much everything, overriding anything else I would put on there. I don't even think I unlocked the second upgrades for it. So the viewing gallery, you're going to have to research, gallery at least, because that one was there. Now we still want to kind of repair this sucker. Let's see how much it's going to cost. 200k to repair that. Then we're going to move him and put him with the paddock over here. Back to some scientists. And remember guys, I'm cutting out lots of waiting time in between here. I'm fast forwarding for a long time and just showing you the exact things that I need. I feel this is the best way to do a video like this. Not to summarize it all in an hour, but to actually show you everything I do and still be able to whittle it down to a 2-hour video from an 8-hour playtime. So staff center is something essential as well, but still I cannot stress enough, the storm defense is what you want. Okay, we're going to speed this up a lot. We're going to max out the space over here. Oh, that was a bit lax there. There's a little bump. But this one we do expand much later on, just by another inch or so on the left, or half an inch on the screen if you will. Okay, so staff center, bang, we're going to smash that up straight away. You can be disgruntled, I care not of these things. We need it up now. And I think by the time after the first storm comes, I'm like, okay, shit, we need to do some storm defense. And then I still didn't have enough time from then until the next storm to do it. I think as I was researching storm defense, the third storm or the second storm hits, which is unlucky, but we get there in the end. So staff center is going to go over here. The position of the staff center is fine. It's this area over here you want to leave empty for amenities, and of course we're going to be swapping out the small amenities for the medium and the medium for the large, because the large amenity down at the starting point there can earn you up to 80k per minute, whereas the medium and the small will be half that. Okay, first storm. Now I do show a lot more of this storm because I want to explain some things, and there's a vital tip I'm going to give you now, but the following storms I don't show the whole thing. You just got to repair where you can. So my first big tip is what I just did right there, which is what you mustn't do. Do not repair the ranger station first. Because as you can see, I repaired the ranger station right there, and then I have to manually control. What you must do is repair the ranger station and the power stations last. The pylons you can do because that's going to stop it anyway. So the ranger station over there is going to go offline the second you want to repair a pylon or a power station. So to reiterate, do not repair the ranger station, all power stations, or the power substations until the end, because technically they are still functioning now, except for that one. Okay, when it's like that, then you're going to have to repair it, but there's still power going through even though they are damaged. The second you repair them, bang, you're going to lose your power. So very good point there is to repair the ranger station and stuff last, so it frees you up to do other things. And as you can see here, I'm having to do this manually. Let's speed this up a bit as well. So yeah, that's something I'm going to be doing from now on, is to have the ability to use both of the ranger stations and repair things during a storm, and not repair them and make them go offline. So what is that, 20,000 for the hotel? You know, it's not too bad. It's the hatchery which is the brutal cost. Hatchery and what is that, 20,000 as well? Yeah, the hatchery and the innovation center are the ones that if they get damaged, you're just going to lose the cash. And unfortunately, near the start, the innovation center, when you're low on cash, is going to be very difficult to repair. As you can see, we're 80k a minute in the... Oh yeah, this is when it glitched out on me. I lost that guy, he exploded, and I had to buy another one. So, a bit unfair there. So here we go. We're getting our hatchery over here. That's going to cost us 80k just to move it. And luckily he wasn't damaged in that storm, because that would have cost me another 200k to fix him, which is just not on. It's not good. So at this point over here, I would be hugging the buildings a lot tighter with the pathing, because later on the space is short, but you can move buildings. So I mean, it's something I would just do naturally now, but try and hug the buildings with the pathways. Okay, the NASUTOCERSTOPS. Now these are the ones I sold before, and I'm not sure if I build the second paddock and put them in there straight away, or I move them over there. But I think I did sell them in the beginning because it was my third or fourth run attempt at the first half an hour, was I needed the cash. I think that must be the reason. Then the NODOSAURUS is going to be one of the first ones we're going to excavate for, because he's a free unlock. And we're going to go back to some scientists here. Let's see. Now we want cheaper research, and faster research would be the ones I would go for. And I do keep this lady here, I keep her for a long time, just to make the research go faster. As you can see, the stats really sucked, and then I accidentally fired her at some stage, which was not something you wanted to do. There we go, guys. Haha, 1.5 stars. Bring it on.
Am I right?
We are ready.
This next objective.
We are ready for this. So we're already 20 minutes into the video, so we've only got an hour 40 in this, and I'm going to take you through absolutely everything I did. I wanted to touch one more time onto the aviary, and we've got more, yeah, the extraction. I'm not going to ever show the extractions. I only showed this one, so I can tell you I'm not going to show them. Yeah, the aviary and the lagoon. The aviary I tried on the Canada map right in the beginning a couple of weeks ago, and the sickness was, I'm not sure if it was because I didn't adjust the genomes properly, but it was so difficult to, you can pause the game and obviously heal them, but they escaped, and it was just so difficult to manage the aviary. When it comes to lagoon, your lagoon's big enough, and you just put out reptiles. That's it. I stick with the lagoon every time now, and the biggest reason being you got the TYLOSAURUS, which is something which is going to be available to you like the second time. Once you do 3 marine animals, bang, the TYLOSAURUS is there. No need to research. And you can, I think you don't have to research it. But either way, the TYLOSAURUS is going to be available very early. And that's in this run is going to be 1,600 appeal, almost 1,000 less than the previous map. But still, 1,600 appeal. You release 2 of those and you got half your appeal right there, more than half of your appeal. So I go with the lagoon every time now. I don't even look at the aviary, because it was too much trouble before, and that combined with the massive bump in appeal is definitely worth the lagoon. Okay, guest attraction. We're going to do this early game. I don't put it over there, I do put it on the left, yeah. So the guest attraction is good for early game. You do have a penalty or a possible 100 appeal that you can get from just having the guest attraction. So I only ever build one of those in my parks. I wanted to build one in the previous park, or build 2, But for the guests that were only available in that map, you would have to duplicate it, as in you would have to have 2 cinemas, and it's like a big red writing, oh, you're duplicating. I'm like, okay, well, I'm guessing I'm not getting the appeal for that then, so I don't even bother building more than one of these, just one at the start, near the amenities, right near the amenities, and obviously the viewing gallery if you can. NODOSAURUS. Now, a quick mention on the genomes is, if you have 100% genome, if you look in the top left corner, available modifications, this is where that number will be maxed out if you have full genome. If you come in here with 50% genome, you'll only be able to have 2. So there's only a real point going there once you've got the full genome. Now, the group adaptation and the resilience, and maybe the humble trait, that's got to do with the environment though. But the tolerance and resistance. Resistance resists the dinosaurs getting disease, but also reduces the effect of the disease on them. So there's a double meaning for that one. Definitely resistance and disease resistance is what you want on these dinosaurs because it runs rampid. Alrighty, the NODOSAURUS. He is up next, he or she. And he will be fine, he or she will be fine with the Hadrosaurid, the NIGERSAURUS right there. Now we have the second staff center. Do not build it there. Build it, I would even make a path going up to the right hand side over there into the next area, and build it over there. But again, you can move it, so it's not a train smash. And there's my notification to tell you guys what I told you before. The storm defense is absolutely key at this point. I'm not thinking that way when I'm recording this, but it's what you should be thinking right now is storm defense on absolutely everything. So make that a priority, and then you can also just follow what I'm doing if you want to, but storm defense is what you want. Okay, again, I'm going to show once excavation of the NASUTOCERSTOPS, and I'm not going to show it again, so you must just know that's what I'm excavating all the time, is in NASUTOCERSTOPS. Here we go. We are going to incubate. Incubate, is it? Or synthesize? Incubate. Incubate, yeah, the NODOSAURUS. And is there a storm coming? It looks a bit grey. So we're skipping ahead there straight to the release of these awesome white pattern guys. Or white skin. And absolutely awesome. And they're going to be eating the same as the NIGERSAURUS, and that's what I mentioned before. Sure, the cohabitation is going to be an issue, but if they don't eat the same thing, there is not going to be enough space to cater for them, and you're going to have a massive welfare hit, or a hit to your welfare. Okay. So these guys do enjoy some ground fiber. I think the other guys do the ground leaf, and pretty much in a paddock this size, you can cater for 2 food types. Not necessarily dinosaurs, but food types, because that's where the issue comes in, like I mentioned, is having enough space to do it. Okay, dinosaur genome, no. Photograph, no. Raise the appeal is something you can do without doing anything, so I'm going to go for that. And again, if you do photograph dinosaurs, it could be something easy like photograph a NIGERSAURUS drinking, but it could also be a photo of a dinosaur you haven't even released yet, so it's very difficult. Well, not difficult, it's not wise to take the photographs early on. Okay, there we go, 100% perfect. Now we're going on to the storm defense. Is that storm defense? No, that's the efficiency upgrades. Even then, I mean that, maybe I have to get there to go to storm defense. But yeah, that's what you should be thinking. Storm defense all the way. Hatchery, who is next? The NODOSAURUS is at 100%. So we can affect that genome like we did. And then now, we've skipped ahead. NASUTOCERSTOPS is only on 74%, but we're going to do some more NODOSAURUS to get some more guests and some more appeal. It all trickles down to the appeal, really. Guests into your park to spend the money. So there we go, a nice little thing there. You can see the area is just big enough, but he hasn't actually expanded his territory yet. Okay, finance, 164, that's pretty awesome. I mean, it stays at 164, between 164 and 250, 260 for a long time. And at the end, it just shoots up. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. Research completed, efficiency upgrades. So, the capacity is something that we want to do as soon as we get our million from, I think we get 2 million, there's no 5 million take on this, there's a 2 million take. And the second you get that 2 million, slap that on straight away, because currently you can extract 7 fossils at one time for 50k, and later on, after you do the capacity upgrade, you can do 17 fossils for 50k. So it doesn't increase the cost, but it will save you hundreds of thousands. So it looks like we got a storm. And I would like to say I'm following my own advice by not repairing the ranger station, but it doesn't seem to be damaged. So we're going to go down there and repair the power anyway. So we're going to lose access to the rangers as we go along, but everything seems to be in this little area here. Doesn't seem to be any fences broken. So let's see what we do now. We need to repair that. Oh, I didn't see how much it was, but I'm pretty sure it was a lot. We have another damaged building. We're going to do this manually right there, because I didn't select it. Sorry if you can hear the siren outside. Not much I can do about that. So we've got a staff center which is damaged, and the control science center which is 200k. And again, those buildings we can put storm defense in, and that's where it's going to happen. Hopefully by this point, you actually do have the storm defense in. Focusing on that from when I mentioned it earlier, and then you should be good as gold now. Spending a lot less cash doing what I'm trying to do here. The inability to repair anything. So we're going to get going there. He's repairing the power station. So this is after the storm. Things repairing, power's back online. And we still can't do the hatchery. As you can see, our money's going into the red. But that will change pretty quick. We're going to fast forward a bit. So that's the last time the storm actually halts everything. Because once the storm defense is in these some of these buildings, it'll be a lot easier. So 74k in the red. At this point I'm like, okay, if the month ends right now, bang, it's game over. You can't do anything about it. So desperately trying to get that 7k there. And at this point, thinking about it now, without fast forwarding, I would have taken the helicopter and taken some pictures just to get in the green quicker. And then we're going to save again after our storm. Always do that. Okay, so we have our first sick dinosaur. And this is something I'm not going to show a lot of as well, because it's going to be random what you get, the sickness you get and what you have to research. And I definitely do not show the healing process and the sending dinosaurs to the paleo medical facility. That kind of thing is just going to be automatic. No need to show it at all. So we took a photo of that dinosaur to get the research, but we need the science center. So let's see if we can repair him. We cannot. So we're going to speed up time and skip time right there and repair that sucker, because we can't do deck without it. Okay, off you go to repair the expedition center as well. And now we need 200k for the hatchery, and we got that done. So that is a step forward, because now I'm pretty certain I'm thinking about storm defense after this disease, because without healing the dinos, our appeal is going to go down if they're sick, or the welfare, which affects appeal. Everything affects the appeal. But we've got the hatchery on the repair. Increased total appeal to 12%. We will get there. I'm not sure why I haven't done the storm defense yet. Let me just see on my notes here. So it's going to be quite, yeah, it's like one of the last things I research before I get to 2 stars, which hopefully is not going to be the case for you. Amenities again. So as you can see here, I'm building the amenity before I delete the other one. So I'm going to let that build. So we've got the shop there. We're just replacing them in different areas. Whereas before I would delete them and put the amenity in the same place. But having the space you've got here, build the amenities, let them completely open. Don't try and adjust them, because having the other small amenities there will affect the numbers. So get your 3 medium amenities built, and then once they are built, then delete the other ones, and the stats will pop up instantly on this. So 20 seconds, 18 seconds. Fast forward, John. There we go. Ha! Sausage. Right, so we've got to delete the 3 small amenities, and we've got the other ones that I've just built. So we're going to have one quick overlook here. We've got a 3,000 there. Oh, it was the same amount, right? See, and bang, up to 11,000. And up to a 12,000 there as well. There was a 13 further up. So all the way down, just look on the bottom left corner. That's all you want to look at, where it goes into the blue. Then do it. Okay, so skipped a bit ahead there. My shopping over there is taking a hit because I've got a big shopping amenity over there. And that's going to increase the stats quite significantly on that guy. So again, keep going back to those new amenities. If you're following what I've done, always go back and check them every 2 or 3 minutes, even less. And once they get to the max 35,000, you can kind of leave them. And they will do what they are designed to do. Okay, some more Nodosaurus coming out here. Absolutely awesome.
This next objective should increase our knowledge,
and that's going to increase our appeal. It's going to increase everything, really. Okay, storm coming again. Open the emergency shelters. I think, yeah, you see on the bottom right-hand corner there, this is the storm I was talking about. So it was the third storm in. And it's the last time I get wrecked by these storms because the storm defense is pinned. And I know that's what I'm going for here. So again, we are going to take the van ourselves and repair that fence. Not quite sure why I did this. It's to just get there quicker so they don't run away. Definitely the reason why I did this. Super excited to try the next map. I know the next ones are going to be absolutely brutal. But especially that southwest in the desert amongst the mountains. That map, oh my god, that's going to be insane. But we're going to do it and we're going to have fantastic tutorials for you guys on how to get these trophies and then this very prestigious plat as well. Just another reminder, guys, if you want to join the Discord group, you can email me from the description. And as I mentioned before, it's a lot easier to help people. They're saying, oh, this is happening or this is happening. I can ask you for screenshots and I can see exactly what's cutting. And I can help you much more efficiently having the visual aid. Alrighty, so we are fixing the fences because they are broken. And unfortunately our innovation center got damaged. And that's going to be one of the last things I do. So 141k in the negative. But we still have, as you can see, money on the bottom right from before. So we do have a bit of a cushion there. Just checking the amenities. The profits are going to be balls crap now. Just after the storm. It's going to cost us 300k to fix Innovation Center. And you cannot put a storm defense on there. And there we go. Eventually I heed my own warnings. And decide it's time for the storm defense. I'm not quite sure what was before it. I think the efficiency upgrades are before that. They are actually. That's why I did that. So at this point, an hour 29 into the game, I'm putting on storm defense. Hopefully you'll be able to do it quicker if you focus on that. But we're going to go for some more storm defense right there. But we need the monies to do it. Right. Let's see what's next. We're going to change. Yeah, so Paleo Medical Facility, Hatchery, Science Center. Oh, that's going to be first. I think that was 200k for that one. So, yeah, so Paleo Medical, Recovery Center, Hatchery, Science Defense, the Science Station, as well as the Control Center and the Expedition Center. They've all got to have Storm Defense. If they're able to have Storm Defense, do it. Simple as that. I didn't change it through my entire gameplay. Except maybe the... No, I don't even know if I did the... No, I did do the capacity upgrade, which means I probably took off the capacity upgrade from the Storm Defense. Now, you can add the Storm Defense when you get a Storm Warning, but it is going to cost you another 250k. And later on, thinking about it now, that's actually not a bad idea. Put the Storm Defense... the capacity upgrade on the Science Center, and then swap it out. But you've got to make sure you have 250k to do it every time. Improve yield is what you want on the Expedition Center as soon as humanly possible. That is vital as well. And we did tell you about that earlier. And it's also in the description, guys. There's a laundry list of information down there in the exact order I built everything. Pretty much a text guide of what you're watching now. And like I said before, if you do happen to use that, then do us a favor and keep the video running on mute or something. That helps us lank. Okay, priority is Storm Defense. I'm still telling myself Storm Defense, Storm Defense. And that's something you should know by now. We are going to start our second paddock. Right across here. Giving ourselves a bit more area. We're going to fast forward this lacquer. In this paddock, we are going to have... I think we moved the Nodosaurus into here, along with the NASUTOCERSTOPS. Because the eating arrangements were quite... difficult to sort out, as I keep mentioning before. It's not about the cohabitation, it's the eating space. So there's the uncharted gold, I like to call it. Suspicious activity. So I think I went for ticket price. And do I do nothing? Maybe I do nothing. I think at this point I would go for the subsidiary, the first one. Because, do I take it in the end? Yes, I do. As you can see, my sabotage risk is quite high now on the bottom right-hand corner. But you could get lucky and they disable like 2 fences or 2 gates or something. There we go, 2 stars. Thank you, sir. 1 hour, 49 minutes. We got our 2 stars. We are making progress. So the KENTROSAURUS is going to be next. Again, he was one of the free ones. I think, no, I'm actually researching him. That's my bad. Research the KENTROSAURUS right there. And there we go, sabotage theft. So as you get all that money, if you do get like a 5 million grant or 2 million grant, pause the game and spend as much as you can, because if the sabotage happens to be theft, then they'll take a chunk of that, but they can't take what's not there. So spend, spend, spend after you get one of those influxes of cash, and it'll benefit you in the long run. NODOSAURUS is 95%. I like it to be 100%, just so you know you're getting the maximum out of each dinosaur that you can get. And we've got another storm coming. It just shows you how much time I skipped and how little has changed in that time. Pretty much that entire time is about adding the storm defense onto all of your structures that can have storm defense. We're going to open the shelters and take the hit. So we got 1.2 million there, almost 1.3, which is going to be more than enough to get us through a storm. Now we're going to go for the wider paths, just so we can get to the transport ready. The wider paths, they do help. Okay, this is what I was saying all the time before. It's just a reminder for me, pretty much, is don't repair ranger stations first, power plants or substations during storms, which is exactly what I'm doing now. Do them last. So wait till other structures are repaired, then at the end go and do that, so you can still use 2 ranger teams and you don't have to do it manually. I know I'm repeating myself, guys, but you can assume some people will skip through the video and miss some previous information. Okay, what are we researching left? Let me see what I've got in my notes here. 2 stars, I think KENTROSAURUS, Storm 3, then research fences. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I look back at the screen. Now the fences, they are very vital for 2 reasons. The electric fences use electricity, and this is probably something you know already. The electric fences use electricity, which increases your power need, which increases your monthly power cost. Now with the concrete fences, they are the strongest ones you can get, and they don't use any power. So that is something you want to do as well, because it'll greatly benefit you in the future storms. I don't think any fences broke on the normal storms, but with the hurricane, there was a couple of fences broken, which you can imagine, but you'll have way less damage if you do use the concrete fences. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's see where we're going now. We're going to do some more fences. We are aiming for that last one. I think you need 500 or 250 guests in your park, one of the two, to actually be able to research it. I think I do get there a bit early before I have that amount in my park. Okay, we're having a look at some scientists here. We can increase the logistics on the one guy. He's got a very low salary, so that's A-OK. And we're going to be going for the KENTROSAURUS expeditions. Now, here's a ceratopsid, or ceratopside, whichever way you want to pronounce it. And he can go quite comfortably with the NIGERSAURUS. We're going to remove the NODOSAURUS from there and put it on the left-hand side. But we'll get into that into a lot of detail a little bit later. So it's told me there, okay, so 284, 158, 126 is the total profit per minute, which is good. See, total population, dinosaur population to 9. And that's going to be the diversity. Oh, that's just a contract. It's not a research project. Let's see what I'm doing here. I need to come, oh yes, this is when I'm going to remove the NODOSAURUS from this pen, and we're going to put him in the next one. I like the way that it doesn't cost you 20k a pop now to tranquilize and to move dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure it just uses the fuel, although it's not from the station either, so who knows. Just easier on this one. We're going to get our ranger post up and running in the center, Mr. Fanta, somewhere there. And we're going to add our second ranger onto that one. And we're going to slot a fence in the middle so they have ease of access. Okay, so we're going to move those guys across again. I'm gunning for the fences because I know later on when you have lots of dinosaurs in these paddocks and a fence breaks in the middle of a storm and you have dinosaurs running around, well, you know, it's not ideal. And they can damage guests even though they're not carnivores. So the fencing is something I was aiming for quite hectically. Now we've got the viewing gallery research. We're going to chuck one right over here where you think we would have it. And I don't do any gyro stations or tours on these ones. I think I might do one little one here. No, I don't. I only do the tour on... Where do I do the tour? I think it's on the last paddock, but again, not something I'm going to use. See right there, 2.5 stars. So it's not not public, not guests. It's stars. Yeah, so I mean, if you can do it now, if you're able to research it, maybe do a gyro station, a platform, and a viewing gallery. If you do all three of them, then you're kind of catering for all the three types of guests, and that is a good thing to do as well. So looking here, wider paths, which I researched earlier, I'm only doing the main thoroughfares and the hotel over here. No need to do it towards the hatchery. You do it down here because there is a viewing platform over there. So just the main walkways for the guests. And could probably put a path coming out the left-hand side of this innovation center going up to that platform. Something I do a bit later. Shopping coverage low. They can get bent because it's not. As you can see there, ignore the red lines. Ignore them. What you want to do, get an amenity, put it against the path, 81. 81 on a medium amenity, that's actually not that bad, you know. Maybe do a small amenity there, but again, it's something you're just going to have to delete and swap out later. See, I'm trying the medium amenities now, still 81. 81 on a medium amenity is something I would do. I would put an amenity down there now with 80 guests. But first, we want the bathroom and the shelter. Bathroom and shelter should be built at the same time every time. Put them as snug as we can together there because we do lack the space in this area a bit later. But like I mentioned, the ability to move buildings is an absolute blessing, and it is vital to the ending stages of it. So power supply on the left, we're going to put a hotel there much later, but you just want to go to, that's a good spot for it because you're not going to put anything else over there, and it's going to be out of the way of anything else you're going to build in that area too. So next to the viewing galleries is always good. I've got an extra line over there I don't really need. Oh no, I do need that. No, I don't. I could delete one of those. Go straight to the substation there. This is where our third paddock's going to go, over here somewhere. And we're going to put the Ceratosaurus and eventually the Compsognathus. Now the Compsognathus is a good one to have because you can put them even with herbivores. And you can put 20, 30 of them in one paddock and it doesn't affect any population or cohabitation. Yeah, so he's a good one. There we go. We got our 2 stars. 385 profit a minute. We are laughing. At this stage, we want to be laughing because we're having fun as well. So the NASUTOCERSTOPS is still not 100% genome, but I needed to get other dinosaurs out, different species, to increase the appeal. Then I'll probably go back to him and finish off his excavations and make him 100% so I can get his genomes to the max amount, or genome edits. There we go. Skipped ahead, obviously. So NASUTOCERSTOPS in with the NODOSAURUS in that paddock. That's the only 2 species we're going to have in there. And I did my research before I start recording. I sit down and I see which dinosaurs can go into which ones and plan out my entire, well, not the park obviously, but plan out the pairing of the dinosaurs with regards to what we can actually research here and the ones we can excavate. So going for a medium amenity again, 29. No, I mean it's not enough people. And that was the worst thing at the start of this game, as in when I first started playing this part 2 of Jurassic World. The amenities just sucked. And it's much easier to manage now because you know how to manage them. And them not telling you that there's a projected guest amount in the bottom left corner. I mean, I spent a week, 2 weeks without knowing that. And just looked at it one day, I was like, what the hell is that number? And bang, it solves the problem of putting an amenity down. And you know it's either going to earn money or it's not going to earn money. And that is just vital. Okay, paddock 3. And for reference to the description, this is the order of the paddocks. And we're going to fast forward there. So we're going to hug the edges of this as much as we can because we want enough space for the Ceratosaurus as well as the Compsognathus. But it's more the Ceratosaurus. And when it comes to populating your paddocks, like filling them up, you got to look at the area. Everything gets decreased. So if you've got 100% on your dinosaur that's in a paddock, like just over the red in all of them, you add one more dinosaur to that paddock, they'll all go into the red. So those stats, the requirements are increased with every dinosaur you put in, but something like the Compsognathus literally has like no effect at all on it. So if you put one Ceratosaurus in there and he's comfortable and he's got quite a big white line between the red line and the marker, when you look at his comfortability, I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, you got to keep a watch of that. And the second they go overpopulated, even with the same species, they're going to start fighting, and we don't want that. Right, we got a viewing gallery going down there. 1.9 stars. yeah, this is when I build a pathway coming out of this way. And I do move a lot of buildings around after the ones I place here. The paleo needs to be there. The ranger station needs to be there. But we do move a lot of other stuff around. We're leaving a spot on the left over here for a monorail. And that's something that every time you put something down, a new paddock that's a bit further away, try and keep in mind that you're going to have to put a monorail station there. And in Jurassic World Evolution 2, everything counts. Whereas number 1, the transport, the viewing of the dinosaurs, none of that stuff counted. It was just the shopping and a couple of other things. Nothing like this one. I do prefer this though. More intricate. I just got offered a share play to do the Jurassic difficulties on the Jurassic World Evolution 1. So I'll be doing that over the course of the weekend, but I want to do the next Jurassic difficulty on this. Okay, Gallimimus. Dr. Grant's favorite one. The most like birds. Okay, so we're having a look at the amenities. Again, not something I'm going to show all the time, but as you can see here, I showed this one because there was quite a big increase in profits there. And then 175,000. So that clip was just to remind you to have a look at them. Then we're going to put the amenity over here. I didn't see how many potential guests there were, but I put it down pretty quickly, so you can imagine it was good. I do swap out these substations for bigger ones later. The reason for that is, well, they have a wider area, but you'll have less substations up because they have a wider area, and in turn will decrease your monthly expense on power. So keep that in mind as well. Let's see where we're going from here. Another amenity. We have 0 guests and 123 on the food. We will definitely do that. Now, I did have in mind, right there is where I'm going to put a hotel, just behind that in the corner. It'll have to be a small one, but it's definitely worth it. And we're going to incubate some more NASUTOCERSTOPS, throw them in there. To populate that, you can keep throwing dinosaurs into that one. As you can see, I do another one straight away. Ooh, we can actually do the CERATOSAURUS. He's on max genome. Oh, no, he's not. I thought I'd just have a little look while we're here and let you know that this is on the cards now. Okay, let's see what we do next. Is there a storm coming? Doesn't look like it. Having a look at the amenities, profits are all good. This one could be better. But the second that the first one doesn't do any change, the other ones probably won't either. There we go, we just got the profit in there of 312, 800, and keep going down, 1,500. And what else we got there? 18. There we go. Nothing else will make a difference after the first 2 or 3. Okay, so we're looking good now. 400k, our profit, our guests are 77 transport. That's always going to be less, but everything else is 100%. That's what we want to see. And only just over an hour left of the video, packed with information. Hope you're enjoying the content, guys. Do us a favor, smash that like button for me. It really helps the channel. And it's nice to know the work is appreciated. As much fun as I am having doing it. Unfortunately, there's a monetary side to this whole operation as well. I'm talking YouTube sense. Okay, so we're having a look at some research there. Tooth and claw hardness. I mean, yeah, it reduces the chance of them getting the disease. That's the strong trait, I think it was. I'm not 100% certain on that. But over here, this one, the group adaptation or tolerance, drought tolerance, is not something I'm too concerned about. Because they get thirsty, they'll have some negative ailments, but it's not something you have to cater to, which is all I care about. I want them just to stay healthy, and the resilience trait is what you want on those, definitely. So we're going to get some KENTROSAURUS out there. Back onto this, you can see now he's got full modifications on the top left. Now we can do long-lived, again, not necessary, even though I put long-lived on there like this, they will still die in this playthrough. Do not do that. Do resilience, resilient. Here, put that max if you can, because the paddock you've got them in, who you're going to put them with, the other small dinosaurs, won't have any effect. Make sure that you do the resilience trait on that as much as you can, and just, you know, spend less time catering for them later, like I was saying. So the resilience trait is what I would do max all the time now, pretty much, unless they had a negative ailment. I would take away the negative ailment and put the rest on resistance. Okay, so we got a storm, unfortunately, but we have storm defense. Now, in the previous game, you could put those storm defenses down, which cover a couple of buildings, and there's still a chance that they can get damaged. With the storm defense on this game, there's no chance that building will get damaged if you have storm defense, and that is just fantastic. You can actually put that away, not worry about them anymore, So especially on this map, storm defense on every structure that you can put storm defense on will take preference. And again, touching on what I said before, we're going to gain 1 million there definitely. Touching on what I said before about the science center, the capacity upgrade, I know I've mentioned this before, is vital. You can do 17 instead of 7 extractions at once for the same price. And maybe that's the only building I would put onto the capture and then change it to storm defense when a storm comes in. Okay, going back for the Gallimimus expeditions. We only have another hour left in this video, guys. I'm so stoked to be able to whittle it down. An 8-hour video into 2 hours, packed with information. Again, I really hope you're enjoying the content, guys. And I appreciate all the awesome comments that I'm getting. Okay, so this guy needs treatment, and this is not something I'm going to be showing in the future. Unsure as to why I'm showing it now. I like to show everything once, maybe. Who knows? So we've got Nodosaurus. We've got the Ankylosaurid. Oh, sorry, that's the Nodosaurus, which is an Ankylosaurid species. And the Kentrosaurus in here. And the Gallimimus. We're not going to release in this paddock, I don't think. I know he isn't there in the end. Let me check my notes over here. The paddock 4 is the Gallimimus. So the paddock I haven't built yet, along with the APATOSAURUS, they're going to go together because they're quite finicky with which dinosaurs they can be with, and again, more importantly, the space for feeding them, because you could have 4 species in one paddock and not have anywhere near enough room to feed them. So this is the start of paddock 4. And again, I want to fast forward this to the end. Excuse me. Then there we go, paddock 4 done. And I do extend these paddocks once I've got all the buildings up that I know that I need. I get very detailed in there and build a fence directly around all these buildings you can see over here after a hotel goes there, just expanding the territory a bit more. I do expand it to the right hand side over there towards the control center as well, but we will get into that when we get into it. Okay, so we're placing the power supply there. I probably wouldn't put it there because that's, I suppose it is in line with the guest attraction. That's okay because we do move 1 or 2 buildings around here. And for the path, I would just go straight to the left now. Here we go. And that is a path we're going to have to increase from there to the hotel. Now we do a path down here, but I wouldn't do this now. There's no need to do it over there. I wanted guests to be able to come in from this side. But with the transport we're going to be doing soon, we don't have to do that. Alright, so paddock 4 is almost up and running. We're going to do some trees and some water. Again, the water right in front of the viewing gallery. Over there, I'm not going to show the whole thing, just a couple of them. And for the Gallimimus, the grass is all you need. And with the APATOSAURUS is the tall fruits, I think it is. One of the tall plants. And of course, they need a lot of forest as well. And for that particular paddock, as you can see there, you can get monstrous amounts of cash for photographs. Yes, for the APATOSAURUS you need a lot of forest. It's the only time I use the bushy forest. And you place the bushy forest all the way around the back of the paddock. So it has the viewing area open for the guests to see. If they can't see them, they can't see the APATOSAURUS, you're not going to get any appeal for it. Which is why that forest you see in the background over here, or on those paddocks there, that's the, we're going to call it the sporadic forest if we will. You're still able to see all dinosaurs. And again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I like to say some things over again which are new to me as well. And that type of forest is a yes please. Okay, genetics. Now we want to look at disease. Again, this kind of stuff you could actually have a look at early game and have a look at the unlock conditions. It'll tell you in the bottom right corner, like you have to take a photo of the dinosaur or something like that. And it's probably something to have a look at to get ahead of yourself in the future. Keep that in mind. We had a look for a second there at the armored dinosaurs. This guy just, no, we're going to have to research something. And if you look on the bottom right, oh, it's ready to research. That's fantastic because we did that earlier. Researching disease is like the quickest thing in the game pretty much. Right, let's see where we are. Park rating, just under 2, but the profit, 104,000, so we took a hit. We're still recovering from that storm, really. Are we? I hope we are. Maybe it's because we have sick dinos. No, see now it bumped up to over 2 stars there quickly. Yeah. So that's good. Having a look at the Ceratosaurus genome. Yeah, I think we do put it onto resilient again there, because they will die, even on long-lived. Here we go. Once we get the Cerato in that paddock, we're going to be flying. And then the Compsognathus later. So here we go. Public rating, upsetting criminals may have consequences. It looks like a win-win situation over there, considering it was 320,000 to incubate. We're going to get 1.2 million on that, so we're going to take that and keep the criminals happy. So we've got 2 eggs there. We've got long-lived and resilient, which is good. Again, I wouldn't go with the long-lived. There's no point. They're still going to die. Or maybe the ones that had long-lived didn't die. Now I'm thinking about it. I think 2 or 3 died. But I do put quite a few Ceratos in there. And here is the Gallimimus going into the paddock 4. Having a little look around. They are comfortable as, I was going to say pig and shit, but a Gallimimus in a well-fed paddock is probably a good analogy. And we're going to put the APATOSAURUS in there a bit later, and we're going to expand it as well. So, what are we thinking now? I would guess something new. Or maybe topping up a couple. We're going back onto Ceratosaurus there. Yeah, we've got a 2 on long-lived, 2 on resilient. Oh yeah, when I do... when I incubate the same dinosaur again, I like to change the skin color. I don't think it has any effect on the appeal. I had a look, but it has an effect on your eyes, so that's good. Okay, so the Ceratosaurus doesn't need a lot of stuff. I put him right at the back, as you can see over there, of the paddock, so he takes as long as possible. The reason for this being, you cannot research this until you've got a carnivore in the park, which is kind of backwards, really. That's like bad forward thought. So I put him at the end of the paddock, so he takes as long as possible to get there. So hopefully the research will be done before he gets there, or just as he gets there, and I can slot in the carnivore feeder. And what we actually need is the live bait feeder, which comes just after that. So this is the hotel I was chatting about earlier. Very good placement there. You can see a lot of those dinosaurs. Would be better if it was a large hotel. Dinosaur appeal would be massive. Okay, profits are easy. Photograph, I'll never take photograph ever again. But stick to the ones that will automatically happen if you want. Unless you're in dire need. So there we go. Now we need the live bait feeder after doing the meat feeder, if you will, carnivore feeder. But as you can see here, the dinos are in the paddock now.
Now this dinosaur is
so we're going to place the meat down straight away. I would normally place it right in front of the viewing gallery, but also close to the gate on the left-hand side over there. Yeah, so somewhere over here is good. Good stuff. So it looks like I took the make a profit over there on the bottom right. I don't even think I get to that. I think I replace it in the end. But these Ceratosaurus are definitely going to help. We're going to assign over there. I mean, later on, I take all the assignments of the ranger station off, and I redo them. So I know Ranger 1 is going to these paddocks, Ranger 2 is going to these paddocks, and so on and so forth. So we need to get. He's missing forest and he's missing the prey. As you can see, they don't even need the meat. Now that I realize that, I don't think I've seen that before. But since you don't have to keep refilling those things manually, and the cost of refilling the ranger station is pretty good, we're going to put a meat feeder down there anyway, like we did for the SOMPSOGNATHUS, which is going to come later. So there we go, using the sporadic forest again, much better. Again, just touching on the guests can see the dinosaurs, and something else I didn't mention before is the rangers can drive through that a lot easier. If you look at where the gate is in this paddock, there's forest just outside it. If you had the bushy forest there, then they wouldn't be able to get through it. So vital, that forest is awesome. Okay, so we're going to lose 250k on that choice and put our live bait feeder, which is the prey feeder, and here's going to be happy. We're going to go rest her quickly and then have a look at the comfort. 96, 100%. Thank you for playing. And that area is big enough to put at least 5 or 6 more Ceratosaurus in, so it's a good spot to have it. Okay, we're not going to show all the disease and all that crap, but here we're going to put our ranger station in there. Oh, fence is broken. Looks like we're in a storm. And did I close my thingies? Nope. Oh, I think I did, yeah. So again, having a look at the fence over there, we need to go repair that ourselves straight away. We cannot have dinos getting out. I was lucky. It's like driving on pure ice when it rains with these Rangers, which isn't really true. I mean, the vehicles they have these days will grip the ground like there's nothing before, but these ones you slide around like you're on an ice patch. There we go. That's the last time I'm going to be repairing these. I think before the next one I do have the concrete up, but this was sabotage, as you can see, not part of the storm. And we're gonna, this is being fast forwarded by the way, and we're gonna reboot those ourselves. And as you can see, all the shit's breaking loose now. But we don't see any spanner icons above any big buildings, which is what we want to see. Because it costs too much to repair. So I thought I'd just drive him out the gate, let him go down there. We're going to open the shelter straight away, even though we've got no power. That's why I stopped driving him. We're going to repair ourselves. We're going to speed this up again. And right at the end, we're going to repair the power station's got a storm defense. And the science center, we're going to repair as well. And we're off. Let's see what we got going here. He's fine. There is a sabotage right there. And these amenities are a bit broken. There's another sabotage to the back of that fence over there. I could have sworn I did that earlier. We will let him do it himself. And yeah, can't wait to get rid of those fences. Put on the concrete ones because that is the way forward. Having a look, profits 261. Yes, please. Just after a storm. That is what you want to see. Sauropods. The start. Now, when I show you researching the sauropod, it's like saying that's the line of species I'm going to research now. And I only go up to the APATOSAURUS. I'm not sure if he was the first or second one. But don't go any further than that because that's the only one we use. Then we're going to hit the monorail, the transport eventually. Now that we're a bit more secure with our storm defense and stuff like that. And it's a good idea to get that monorail up because he's going to take a hit. So we're going to fire some scientists, and that's the one I shouldn't have fired. She was my fast research. But we do get another one later on. Okay, the APATOSAURUS is what we want. He is going in with the GALLIMIMUS in Paddock 4. Okay, expedition for him. Now on the upcoming lists, we've got the monorail, which we've just done. We're going to add some more CERATOSAURUS to that, and we're going to research the NIGERSAURUS as well. We can fill up on the first paddock we built. This is the extension of Paddock 4 because the APATOSAURUS loves its forest and open area. I even expand this a bit more, taking away this path. But for now, that is good. We're going to put a lot of forest. You can see the forest I've got in there already. I changed that to the bushy forest, but only at the back of the paddock, as I previously explained. Strange to be showing you extractions, but again, going for the APATOSAURUS. Get his genome up to the max so we can get him disease-free. Okay, so the monorail is on the list over there. Advanced amenities as well. I've got it in the bottom right-hand corner. And the second you're able to do that, not rush to do it, but when you have the large amenities, then wait until just after a storm. Wait till you're back on your feet again, and then do the amenity swap. Change all of the amenities you've got for large ones where you can, space-wise, because that will triple your income easily. All right, having a bit of a science factor there. GALLIMIMUS is now complete. Dinosaurs fighting. I didn't see a lot of fighting, actually. The KENTROSAURUS seem to be fighting each other. And again, you could have everything 100% perfect, and they'll still fight. So I decided to move out here when it came to the power station. I think I actually built this accidentally because I looked at something and I must have misread something because I ended up deleting this power station a bit later. And I must have looked at something that confused me, or I just didn't look at something right. Or I think it was just I misread something because I didn't need to build that right now. But it doesn't matter. We can expand out there a bit later as well. And once we've got our lagoon going, that's the game over. Because the appeal bump is massive. Okay, so the monorail. Again, thanks Simpsons. You want it to go as close as you can. This is the reason why we left the space. So good to know this now. E. coli, dart treatment, research. Sure, let's do that. I do have cheaper expeditions there. I didn't see that. We're going to put one over here. We're going to put one next to the CERATOSAURUS paddock. And we're going to put another one where we just put the power station out there later. And I've also got a very good tip. Oh, theft, you bastard. Oh, electric fence, that's fine. I've got a very big tip on building the monorails. Whereas before, you build it and then you want to add another monorail station as you expand your park. And you take a massive transport rating hit while you're doing that because it takes a long time for the rail to get built. But I'm going to show you a nifty little trick to reduce that by 98%, and it's a fantastic thing to see. You have to keep watching to find that out. But like I said, we're going to fast forward this. We're going to put a station down here. As you can see, the perfect amount of space left there. Quite impressed. That's pretty good. I'm going to go around the back of the parks over here, of the paddocks, to get the viewing area. And over there, I did that little sharp corner because I know I'm going to expand the monorail down to the next area. So as it's doing the first one, oh, what happened there? Did I have to delete it? I don't remember that. But while we're doing this, we know that we're going to go down to the next area. And I think I mentioned before, I built an entire 3 paddocks on the last plot of land, and I only used one of those, and we had 5-star. No idea how this guy got out. I've heard stories that they will jump the fences. Do look around quite hectically trying to see a hole in the fence, but I've seen a picture of a velociraptor on a fence, but I did not know that these guys could just walk out of the paddock. I have no idea where he came from. I would love to see him escaping, a sneaky little puff adder. We're going to put him right back there, and we're currently taking a hit to our star rating because of it. And we're going to synthesize some more Ceratosaurus right there. So, looks like we're kind of expanding. We want to do a paleo facility here. Oh, this is what I mentioned before about the disease running rampant. I'm not showing the disease, it's something that you would experience. I decided to put another paleo here for 2 reasons: to cater for the amount of sick dinosaurs on the other side of the park over there, but also knowing that I'm putting a lagoon down here, and having a paleo and a recovery center right next to the lagoon is vital. I even moved it closer to it. I put the paleo and medical ranger station smack bang right next to the hatchery of the lagoon, because those drones, underwater drones, take a long time to get to the sick fish. And what we're going to release in there, the TYLOSAURUS and the ICHTHYOSAURUS. The TYLOSAURUS will eat them, but it'll take a long time for them to do that. And the appeal rating you get before they get eaten is definitely worth it. So I don't think it's a storm. Is it a storm, or is it just... yeah, it's definitely a storm. Although I didn't open the... that's weird. As you can see, way less buildings damaged from that. We've got 2 or 3 buildings that are damaged. The rest have the storm defense. And now the storms pretty much have no effect, except for obviously the hit you take in the income and the appeal for those couple of minutes. They are very short at least. So we had the resilience trait there. We're definitely going to use that one. And the long-lived. Probably should have waited till I had some more money to release more of them. Yeah, I think I'd do that. Nice one. Nice. I love it when I do things that I say I should do in the commentary. Okay, so we have a sick dude over here, but we're not going to show a lot of that. Okay, so we've got max scientists. We're going to fire a couple of guys because my income wasn't coming in fast enough. Each one of these guys, scientists that you have, if they have 1 strong trait, then keep them. But if someone's on like 2, 1, 1, then delete them. As you can see here, I'm keeping the 7, obviously. I'm keeping the 3. But if they're 1, 1, 1 or 1, 1, 2 on their skills, then they're not going to help you. And it's normally for the other effects of making it faster. Okay, so this is my indication to speak about the disease, but I have already built a second paleo facility there, and to cater for the amount of sick dinosaurs and injured dinosaurs. As you can see, when 2 or 3 have to get sent to the paleo facility, then the third one could be dead by the time the first 2 are done. But I only stuck with 2 in the end and managed to get through it. A-okay. So now we've got enough cash there for 2 of them. I like to save before adding more dinosaurs into the paddock, which is why I showed that save game there. Because you could put them in, and then there's too many dinosaurs, and they start fighting, and they will kill each other. So on this particular one, with the carnivores, I like to put in a save game before releasing the dinos there. Okay, so we are incubating. Yes, you can see on the right-hand side. You can see how much time I skipped there. 3/4 of that. So the KENTROSAURUS right here, guys, I put in with the GALLIMIMUS, but it's not something you want to do. I do remove them. I do have that in the description as well. I removed the KENTROSAURUS from this paddock and put them back into paddock 1 with the NIGERSAURUS, because I think it was, I couldn't tell you now, but there was definitely a good reason why. So it says the social impact there, but sometimes that glitches and it shows you that there's a social impact and there actually isn't. So these GALLIMIMUS now is 100% genome. Got this quite a while ago. We're going to sort out his genome to make him as resilient as possible. The long-lived, again, while I'm playing the game, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But as you can see, resilience takes preference over everything. The more resilient they are, the less money, the less time it's going to take you to look after them. I think maybe 25% chance. But I mean, I'd rather put 85% chance on resilience than have a 25% chance on long-lived, because it costs you maybe 10 grand for one of them, 13 grand. So here we go. More Ceratosaurus in there, 2 more in there. That's a good number to have. And we got 2 in there already. He is chasing after the Rangers. Naughty. But as you can see, the area is quite a big gap between the red line and the notch. So here we go. The Gallimimus, I think I do deselect some of them, but skittish is always going to happen with these guys. There's no point. Just select them all, release them all into the paddock, and you will be laughing. So we're going to incubate these guys right now. Let's have a look at the welfare specialist right there. Only about 35-40 minutes left of the video, give or take. Lots of information to come. So the sauropods, the NIGERSAURUS, that is the dinosaur that we started the entire game with. And that should have been something maybe I went for closer to the time, but it's more beneficial to go for other species to get rid of that species penalty on the appeal. So as you can see right here, he's absolutely fine. No problem, he's just got enough forest. So if I put in one more dinosaur here, I'm going to need to put in more forest. That's how these little things work. As you can see, I'm aware of that and put some more forest in. And being the sporadic forest, it doesn't matter. You could put it anywhere, but I still like to keep it around the back edges, just to keep the visibility to the max. Alright, coming up to 3 stars now, guys. Let's see, everything's fine. 91 restroom and shelter. That's because I built the power station on the other plot of land over there. But there are no guests going there just yet. It's just the written script telling me that there needs to be something out there. But looking at the profits over there as well, all looking good on the amenities. And again, about this time, maybe have a look at your amenities, touch them up again, exactly what I'm doing there. But actually go into them and see if you can make more profit. Now I'm looking at the third amenity in this area, which is the food, and 243 guests. So we want to get this down here no matter what it takes. And I do skip ahead here now and move around a whole lot of buildings and able to get him in there. So I moved the PALEO facility to the right and got another one in right over there. So we're going to do another pathway there because we're not going to use that area. But if something like that happens and you have 240 potential guests on something that you can't place, find a way to place it. Do it. Because that is a lot of guests and a large amenity. You're looking at 75,000 K per minute profit. And that is how you're going to get 5 stars in the end, is the amenities, unfortunately. I don't need to say that the amenities only work because you've got dinosaurs on appeal, but in the gist of it, they are the max earners. Okay, so we're going to move the Gallimimus in there, and the NIGERSAURUS we're going to release straight into the paddock 1, which is where they are now. I got a strange notification from the Wish app over here saying new blankets. I'm like, thanks man, I'm covered. Righty on, what are we doing next, guys? We are having a look at attractions. Nope, we're going to... here we go. So as you can see, I've tranked the 2 NIGERSAURUS in there. And now I am doing the replacement concrete fences. And I love... Well, I don't like doing it, but I love having the concrete fences. It takes such a pressure off you knowing that they're not going to break in normal storms, that you've reduced the power intake, you've increased your profits. They're such a good thing to have in your park. Be sure to do them. I'm going to explain exactly how I do the second paddock without tranking any of the dinosaurs. So just touching up on the hotel, like I said before, we're going to slot one over here and do the concrete fences on the next paddock too. Alright, so over here we want to do a hotel, but we decided to expand the paddock first, knowing that the APATOSAURUS is going to come in here, and he's a needy bastard and he likes a lot of area, and to cater for his food and the galley we have to expand it. So as you can see here, that's the expansion of the paddock as well as the hotel built right over there. A good spot for the gate over there. And that's the expansion done for him. And we have a storm incoming because we're doing so well. You can see the advanced amenities is still on my research list over there. So that is where I would put the bathroom. Oh, I do put it there. There's enough space. Awesome. And something manager's sick. Lose 12,000, yeah, whatever, just do it. And now we're going to deal with the storm. But at the same time, we need the shelter. And we should put that further down over here somewhere. I do put a couple of amenities down here at the end. Even though there's no platforms or viewing galleries there, it's pretty weird. But there is a need for it. So again, one more time, don't repair the ranger stations, don't repair the power stations until the storm is done. And we skipped ahead there, obviously. No need to see it. And we're still on 170k per minute after the storm, which is just awesome. So there we go, expanded paddock. We have some more NODOSAURUS being synthesized there or incubated. Some KENTROSAURUS here. We're going to do the modifications for him. Nope, we're not. Yes, we are. Huh. I even looked at the modifications and I didn't do anything to it. That was probably a bit of a fail right there. But you know pretty much what trait I'm going to say. Increase the resilience trait to the max if you can. Over here as well, I'm going to fast forward this. I expand these paddocks as much as I can as well. All the way up to the path because it is just wasted space. I'm not going to put anything else on the inside of this. So we might as well make the paddocks just a little bit bigger. And with the monorail station, it should cover the viewing of them as well. As you can see, we do increase the area slightly, and it does help in the end. You can add a little bit more food. You can add even 2 or 3 more dinosaurs because of it. And over here, as you can see, like I mentioned before, the KENTROSAURUS, we're going to put back into that paddock. Because he does not like to be with the GALLIMIMUS and the APATOSAURUS. I'm going to put in there as well. And also there's going to be a food issue for space. Okay, let's move on. What have we got going now, John? We've got the fences built, so we're going to delete all that. And delete that to increase the area just a touch. That won't happen straight away. They probably have to walk around. And then I realized, oh, balls, I can't put a... So I learned something on that. I can't put a fence there. But I do have one over there, and I realized, okay, we can slot one right there as well. So that was pretty lucky. As you can see, the KENTROSAURUS is fighting already, but I haven't actually adjusted their area yet. We are still focusing on these fences because we don't want these electric fences anymore. This is me increasing the paddock 1, like I mentioned at the start. And of course, we're going to wait for that to finish building. Lucky there are no dinosaurs there. And we're going to increase the paddocks on the left-hand side of paddock 2 all the way to the path like we've done on the first one over there. Just to get that extra slot of money, or the area for dinosaurs. Not sure why I said money. So we haven't even researched the hatchery yet, because we had one at the beginning. We hadn't need to research it till now, but now we want to research it because we want the lagoon. That's a good step forward now. We're knowing we want the lagoon, and we've reached over 3 stars as well. So yeah, the 3 stars happened. I realized now I edited that out when I was expanding paddock 4 over there and put the hotel down. That's when I got to 3 stars. That's my apologies, guys. I spent time now editing that out, thinking, why did I have it in there? I didn't even realize. But yeah, 3 stars, as you can see, happened just a little while ago. Do apologize for that. So 43 on the projected guest ain't gonna cut it. No siree. We need more. So looking there, the NIGERSAURUS and the ORANGOSAURUS. We are going to release ORANGOSAURUS into the same paddock. And I think we'll have 3 species in there. The NIGERSAURUS, KENTROSAURUS, and the ORANGOSAURUS. Because the KENTROSAURUS is the armored dinosaur, the NIGERSAURUS is a sauropod. And yeah, there we go. Park rating up. And the ORANGOSAURUS is a hadrosaurid. So those are 3 different species in the paddock 1. Which is why I moved the KENTROSAURUS back so I can get the APATOSAURUS and the GALLIMIMUS. So this is what we're excavating for right now. Only half an hour left to get lots more information in here. So happy I'm able to do the videos like this. Having 8-hour videos is just not, you know, it's not a good thing to have. YouTube just takes too long to process it after it's uploaded. Upload is quick, but the processing takes 2 days. But not anymore. Let's see what we're doing here. So that guy is still sitting on 29,000. He ends up being about 60,000. But we're going to cull some scientists here with the really low stats. Anyone that has a stat below 3 on all of them is probably a good one to fire. Faster extraction, definitely don't need it. Positive influence is always a good one to have. Faster research is also good, but too expensive. Those salaries are way too expensive. 44,000. I think I wanted this one because I accidentally fired my other one. So I did take a massive jump there at 44,000, well, minus it from my profit per minute. Now these guys do have a very long lifespan, so definitely don't put long life on them. And as you can see now, I've caught on to the fact that I want resilience. Having 25 humble chance, maybe it was 50, is potentially worth it, but I would go with sickness all the way, and resilience is the way to do that. Okay, so our first APATOSAURUS. Not sure how many we put in there. As many as we can. As you can see, it seems wide enough now. At this point, again, I'm just touching on this. You need to get the tall leaf or ground leaf for the Gallimimus, and I do half of the paddock there for them, and the other half I will do the other food. It's difficult to try and mix them up. As you can see, tall leaf is what they want, and that's why I do it on this side, leaving, oh, not as much. But we just do a little bit here. If you go onto the genomes, you can tell what they need. That's how I'm doing it beforehand. And I like to do a little bit just to see what they're going to need. And when you place them in there, you just have to touch up one more time. As you can see here, I'm still using the sporadic forest, but it's not enough. I do go for the bushy forest in the end and go all the way around that. And this is what I touched on before. Oh yeah, this is the big tip, guys. You're able to change the fencing without deleting the first one first. So normally I would trank all the dinosaurs in the pen and then delete, well, replace the fence the whole way around, but you can do it like this. You can add onto the fence before you delete it. This eliminates the factor of actually having to tranquilize your dinosaurs, which is fantastic. Now, ideally, if you have enough space, as you can see there, you can just get to the deleting of the electric fence, and it's worked. I was so happy when I saw this, but if you have the space to do it, then you can do it. Otherwise, you're going to be reducing your paddock size. As you can see here, I'm actually making it bigger. But as I go down the left-hand side, and I don't show the whole thing, I do fast-forward it. As I go down the left-hand side in a couple of minutes, you will see I actually have to go on the inside, and that reduces the paddock, but I don't care. If you're able to do it without having to trank all the dinosaurs, then do it. Because not only do you have to do that, having tranked dinosaurs, they count for 0 appeal, and it will make a knock on your income. So this is a much better way of doing it now. When I place fences in the future games, I know that I'm going to be doing this, and I'm actually going to leave space just on the outside of the fence to actually put the concrete ones in. Definitely a massive tip there that I'm going to be using all the time. Okay, APATOSAURUS, we have 100% genome. We've already adjusted his genome, so affects all territory. Yes, that is awesome. Let's hope he is the alpha, being the first one in there. And that's what I was talking about earlier. As you can see now, I can't go on the outside. I have to go on the inside. And it's okay. You know, it's going to be minor effect. If you do short little jumps like this, or if you do a longer one, you're going to take up more of it. So just depending on your paddock, this is either going to work for you or not, but it is hands down. I'll also get that thing facing in the direction you're going as well, the actual marker on the ground, like that, before you actually put it down. Yeah, it's definitely going to have effect on my later gameplays, no questions asked. If I'm able to do this without tranking dinosaurs and taking a hit to the monies, then yes please. Alright, storm warning. We're not as afraid of storms as we were at the start, but if the dinosaurs come out, as you see, I'm saying to myself, don't repair that, and ask for a repair of the ranger station. Do not repair that until the end. I know I sound like a stuck record, but again, if someone is skipping through the video, do not repair the power stations, substations, or the ranger station, so you still have access to both of them while the storm's on. So here is our hurricane. Can you believe it? Our first one. We've had a long time. Just like Jurassic World 1, I get into a jeep and you follow the trail of destruction. Now, in this instance, if the fence was broken open, then you would go through the fence, then turn around, well, look around and repair it, so you can actually follow the storm as it goes through your park. But here, I realized the gate was all the way down there, so we're not doing that. I moved it when I expanded it. But it pretty much stops over there, so nowhere near as destructive as the Jurassic World Chaos Theory map, where it just destroyed everything. I might even redo that map, see if I can do it quicker. But over here we go. Couple of repairs, and the fencing we can now delete with pleasure, sir. Just deleting these fences, like I mentioned before, increases profits, reduces power consumption, increases the wall strength to the maximum, and doesn't use electricity. So that's done and dusted. Yes, please. Okay, only 25 minutes left before we hit that 5 stars, and I want to show you everything I needed to do to get there. And I see a summary mode coming up here. What the summary mode means, guys, is that I want to show you only the vital things that I do, and then I go to a super summary mode where I literally cull that down to only the things that are new. So now That's what I'm saying now, is I'm only going to start showing you. I'm not going to show you the amenities. I'm not going to show you the sickness of the dinosaurs, not that I have already, but it's more of a summary, a shorter summary of what happens from now onwards. So you've got 4 hours 27, so still a long time during the game time, but very short on the video, and we're not going to miss any information at all. So having a look over here, I mean, the money's okay now. The money's going to be flowing in all the time. I'm not too worried about this. Don't be too worried about hiring a good scientist, because coming down to the last hour of the game, when you've researched everything, you've got enough scientists to actually release a TYLOSAURUS, for example, you can fire all the other scientists and just keep those 2 or 3 scientists, and that will massively increase your profit per minute because you're not paying for them. So here we go, summarizing this up. We've got the cost upgrades next, and that's pretty good for the some of the buildings, but you have to research the extra upgrade slot as well, which is going to be millions. So here we go. Additional modules for the amenities, and the large amenity research right there is what we're doing. And we're going to go ahead and replace the amenities we have where we can with the large ones, because as I said before, you will get double the profits from a large amenity than you will with a small or medium one, or triple the profits of a small one. So 7% growth right there. That's a very good thing to see at this stage of the game, knowing that you've got it all done and you're heading the right direction. I deleted that power station. As I said before, I put it there accidentally. Didn't need it, and then I built another one after that. So as you can see here, everything's looking swimmy, so everything's good. Shelter coverage 98, that will do. The guest amenities are all earning nice profits, and they're about to earn a lot more profits. And 245k per minute. Again, pretty low for this stage of the game, because I hired more scientists, which is why I was able to complete this in a much faster time, as I've seen other videos 2.5, 3 hours quicker than other videos, because I wasn't too careful with the scientists, knowing that I could just fire them at a later stage. So that is snug up against the wall of that paddock, which is fantastic. And that is a large hotel going right there. Okay, now it looks like I'm doing the amenity swap. So I can delete this path because it's attached to the innovation center, and that has multiple outlets for pathing. So what I'm doing here, I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'm deleting, well, I'm placing an amenity first. And as you can see here, it's not telling me how many guests I'm going to get because the other one is there already. So it's not going to give you the stat once that the medium amenity has been deleted. So you have to delete an amenity, then go like this and see how much you're going to get, and eventually put it down the bottom there, and I put my last one right there. So again, even looking at this kind of area, you can't judge what kind of guests you're going to get. You just have to replace them, knowing that your small or medium amenities are full. Replace them with large ones, and you should be absolutely fine. Okay, here we go. Our second and third APATOSAURUS, I think it was. We're going to rest the scientists. But yeah, the amenity swap is so vital. I just call it the amenity swap because, like I mentioned before, you get infinitely more profits from the large amenities than you will the other ones. That makes perfect sense as well. Okay, the NIGERSAURUS is also what we want to put in this paddock. Paddock 1. Our money is almost gone though. And this is why some instances it takes longer and shorter depending what you do with the scientists. This is me, a quick clip showing you that I'm replacing the small substations with the big ones. And again, this will increase your profit per minute because you actually have less substations. And the big ones will obviously cover a larger area. You actually pay for the substation, and that's why you actually reduce your costs, having less of the big ones. Okay, having a quick look at the amenities again, a quick little clip. Swapping the amenities out for the big ones, something vital and maybe something for future gameplays. You can remember that if a small amenity fits right there in an area that potentially will need a bigger one later, you know, leave enough space for the swapping of the amenities. Make a note like I do for the next gameplay. Tips on the next playthrough that I didn't know on the previous playthrough, and so on. So again, quick clip having a look at the amenities and the profits, how quickly you'll get up. 37k, and again we'll come back and look at that over the course of the next 10 minutes, and then there will just be self-reliant. Let's have a quick look. 229, again pretty low for this stage of the game, but still enough profit for you to mess around and do something and come back and have $1 million. So coming up to 3.5 stars, and we've only got another 20 minutes of the video, which is awesome. As you can see there, the profit is almost doubled. Well, not doubled at the moment because they still need a bit more time. And one more time, do not listen to the sat view of this. 57 for a medium amenity. I would probably do that now. I don't think I put it down here now. I'll do it a bit later. I ended up doing a platform right at the start here because there was space for it. And that's just going to increase, you know, traffic over here for these amenities. And being right at the start as well, it'll be a popular one. So yeah, don't trust the satellite view of where they say you need amenities. Just go on the amenity count. It looks like here we are getting ready for the lagoon. Very exciting once I find the water. So having a look at the lagoon over here, 600k, that's not bad at all. That is for the actual lagoon. And I think this one I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 slots with the lagoon, which is, I thought it might not be enough for the TYLOSAURUS, but it is plenty. I think I do, well, I know I do at least 2 TYLOSAURUS. With this over here, the placement of the lagoon, you got to face the arrows, or just one arrow in the direction that you want to go, and you will be able to add the next part of that lagoon straight onto that, and that's how you go in a straight line. It took me a while to figure out and to play around. Just save your game before you start it. As you can see there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had 5 slots there for that, and that is more than enough space for the ICHTHYOSAURUS and the TYLOSAURUS, which is what's going to be in there. So here we go. The additional modules on the amenities is vitally important because this is how, again, you're going to increase the profits. The large hotel, oh, I haven't researched that yet. Looks like the other ones must have been small. But I've never deleted a small hotel and put a large one, which is actually something I should think about. Maybe. I think just having more hotels can't hurt. Having a higher capped guest count. So over here, I don't know what I was doing with my pathways there, but I think at this point I need to tighten them up. Because over here we're going to put a monorail station, we're going to put amenities, and of course the super expensive viewing gallery for the marine reptiles, the marine viewing gallery. And that's not something you really have to do because you can place normal viewing galleries and viewing platforms to view it. But I think it's something I have to check. There might be an appeal rating to that specific one. If you go to any of your viewing platforms or amenities, your viewing platforms or your viewing galleries, you click on them, you will see what kind of appeal rating they have. And I've got to assume that having one that goes down below ground to look underwater is going to have some sort of effect on it. And again, I have to do some more research on that. But if you can't afford it, you can just place normal viewing platforms and viewing galleries, and you'll be fine. Well, I think you'll be fine. Here we go. The OLOROTITAN, awesome dinosaur. Again, wants to eat exactly what is there already. And this is how I negotiate my dinosaurs. The cohabitation is a distant second. It's who eats the same food, then look at the cohabitation. So he's missing some ground fiber, but as you can see, not very much of it. So he wants more forest, and again, we're going to let him expand his territory, and we'll come back to him at a later stage. So the additional hatcheries, we definitely don't need that one. Wait, what is that? Additional, oh, it's upgrades. Oh, that is for the percentage. Yeah, that one, sorry. You do need that one, or potentially need that one, because it'll increase your synthesis rating by 50%. So you're able to have more dinosaurs in one synthesization, I think it is. So yeah, definitely do that. It was my apologies for saying you didn't. Okay, so here comes the monorail. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but the placement of this, you want to put as much of the rail as you can over your lagoon, because this is at 100% rating of viewing the animals, and we don't quite know if the viewing galleries will work, but we do the marine viewing anyway. So as you can see, this is my tip I was telling you earlier. I've built the track all the way up to where I'm going to attach it, but obviously I'm not going to delete the other track or attach it yet. As you can see, I'm going in circles around this to get as much view over here as possible. But yeah, the tip about the transport rating over here is what I was mentioning earlier, is to build this, then wait until this entire track has been constructed. It'll take, I don't know, it takes a long time. See, now I knew I was going to go back down there, so that's where I'll attach the next track going down to the next area, which we don't use. So over here, you've got to make sure you have enough space for both of them. And now we're going to leave both of them, bang, right there. And we're going to let that finish. Whereas before, I would break the track and attach them right now. There's no need to do that. No need. You will take a hit on your transport. It'll affect everything. Wait until this track is completely built. then just attach the last 2 slots there. It'll take 1 minute instead of 15 minutes of a crappy transport rating. So here, this is when we were researching I don't think we need the large substation. I definitely wouldn't do it now. No need to do that at all. And I thought I put down the large substation already. Yeah, I didn't research it. Sorry, it was already going. So here is the large substation. I think this is what I was doing before. Oh no, I didn't. I must have just been moving the smaller substations. Luckily, I was able to get him in there. That was a good find right there. And we're going to wait for them to be built before we go around and delete all the other ones. And I didn't realize that there was a little gap somewhere here, and it was this one.
This next objective
Incoming transmission, fight, no, ticket sales, yes.
Only one way to
That's
know
what we
for
want.
sure, however.
And this little
Decision.
electrical wire was not attached to anything. And we do that, and unpause, and everything's a-okay. So as you can see here, the monorail has been built. This area and everything I'm doing in this area is not really necessary. I do release one Giganotosaurus there. I'm not sure if he has an effect on the 5-star because it happens almost the same time. But as you can see here, the monorail is built, and about this time you want to go there and just attach it to the other ones. But at the time being, there are no dinosaurs here. So until I actually have a Ichthyosaurus incubating or synthesizing, then I'll actually do the monorail. There's no need to do it beforehand. And once that's built, we can delete the small substation and be good as gold. Right, so from there, we're going to head to the hatchery. And we're going to get this guy going. And this is going to be the start of the end. Because once we start releasing those TYLOSAURUS, our appeal will go up by 3,200 once you've released 2. That's how quick it goes up. So again, I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to delete this, make it as quick as possible, make the hit to my money and the transport rating as quick as possible. Attach those last 2. I think it's a monstrous tip. It's something I'm definitely going to be doing all the time. And all you have to do is wait for those 2 to finish instead of the entire thing. A bit concerned that I didn't think about this beforehand on other playthroughs, but we learn. There's the Ichthyosaurus right there. And he is the second last. I think it may be the second last one we're going to do. We're still going to research the tour rides, but it's not something we're going to use. We're going to add the SOMPSOGNATHUS to the paddocks that we've got. What else? We're going to do the viewing platform for the lagoon, and we research a couple other things and the wider path as well. But otherwise, if you come to this point and you're sitting pretty like this, then you're good as gold. Incubate a couple more GALLIMIMUS right there. Let's see what else we got going here. We have, again, this entire area. I will show the paddocks and everything I build in case you do need to come over here. But I'm not going to show the entire thing. I'm going to skip through it and then show you the end result when I do start doing it. I even build a monorail and some platforms and a gyrosphere, and they never get used. So it was a bit of a waste of time, but I did not know this when I was doing it. When I released the TYLOSAURUS for the first time, I looked down. I hadn't looked at my stars for ages, and I was on 4.9 stars. And I was like, holy shit, what is going on here? I had no idea. And then I just stopped everything and just released the TYLOSAURUS and released amenities or built amenities where I could, because they are the profiteers, if you will. Okay, some more GALLIMIMUS in there. Again, just showing you the end result. I was loving that paddock as well. It was for my T-Rex. We don't get anywhere near the T-Rex on this playthrough, but that was some serious forward thought there. Just having a quick look on the GALLIMIMUS, as you should do when adding any new dinosaurs, for the only reason just to see if there's enough food for them, because like I mentioned before, the requirements for the paddock will increase. The SOMPSOGNATHUS, again, vital as one of these species, but also they don't have a lot of appeal, but it is just another dinosaur you can have in the park, and it will do more good than bad, definitely. It doesn't do any bad, actually. They're so easy to use. And like I mentioned before, you can actually do them into some herbivore paddocks. There we go, 4-star rating. Thanks for playing. We are so close now, guys. Just over 10 minutes left. Looking at the profit per minute there is massive. And again, I can see it coming up on my editing program here. We're going to go into super summary mode. So it's going to be just the things I haven't done before, well, mainly, and showing you what I research and actually build as well. Keep in mind at this point, you want to have a look at your amenities, go through them again. There's a super summary mode. Go through your amenities again, making sure you're touching them up where you can or changing them where you can. Again, it's not something I'm going to show. And from here, it should be smooth sailing. So looking at the first hotel, what I built down here, trouble placing it. In the end, I put it down here. Just to have enough space for the marine viewing gallery, which again, you can build or not build. If you're having trouble with the appeal at the end, you should be okay with the TYLOSAURUS. It does cost either 2.4 or 3.4 million. But as you can see here, sell to private collector. At this point in the game, I don't want to take the money. I want the public rating. I don't care how long it takes to build. Having a 25% public hit now would be massively detrimental to my profits per minute. So this end game, you do not want to take the hit, lose the 2 million, you'll be fine. So here's an outlook of the paddocks I built down there. I only use one of them, like I said, for the Giganotosaurus. And I do research the gyrospheres here, the tour rides, but that I know for a fact is not going to be necessary for your 5 stars. Because as you can see, we are creeping forward. 833, that is going to be before expenses. And we even went up 4% than last month, which is just fantastic to see. Any percentage up on last month, it just means you've done better, you know. So there it is, baryonyx. And the velociraptor, I was like, I actually wouldn't mind doing them as well. I haven't even built them on any of these challenges, built them. Synthesized them or incubated them on any of the challenges, because from the first game, they just jump the fence, or not jump the fences, they are just mad in storms. They go absolutely crazy, but I haven't actually used them on any challenge mode yet. There's just no need. I just stick to this fella right here, the Ichthyosaurus, or more importantly, the one next to him is the TYLOSAURUS. I use him to finish off my park every time. I haven't even released a mosasaur yet. So here we go. Modifications, tolerance, depending on where he is in the paddock he is. At this time, I was still afraid about the space. I didn't have to be, but I was still afraid about the space, which is why I said tolerance, and then only 2 on resilience. I would put all on resilience, maybe 1 on humble, but at the moment, that is what we're going to use. And I'm having a look over here. Not sure what I was doing, but let's move on. Down here, 2.5 million for staff improvements 3. It is something I do actually research. And again, thinking now, do I need it at this stage? I wasn't quite sure what the TYLOSAURUS was going to need logistics-wise. And again, this entire area here, do not need to do. Again, I'm just showing you, if you need to come down here, it's not a bad setup. Enough space for monorail and amenities. And that's why I went back to this game and released dinosaurs, like I said, to unlock them for sandbox mode. Okay, move on. Let's go summary mode. Compsognathus. This is the new species. Excuse me, I hiccuped. Another species to the park, because we need to get to our target. And of course, the 2 marine reptiles, Ichthyosaurus, TYLOSAURUS, are going to be 2 more species. I'm not sure what we're sitting on right now, but we've gone just under 4 stars now. We've gone down a bit, but that's absolutely fine, because the second we release this stuff, the Ichthyosaurus and TYLOSAURUS, we're going to be laughing. So a storm hits me, and this isn't the most inopportune time. The next storm hits on 4.9 stars when I needed 9,000 more profit a minute. That's it, and a storm hit. But as you can see here, the storms are mild. No need to show what's cutting here. We do have a bit of a hurricane, I think, on this one. There he is, pops up right in front of me. But we follow it around, and we're able to repair everything. At this stage, I know I was saying don't repair stations and pylons and stuff like that. But when you're following a hurricane, just repair everything in its path, just to get it done as quickly as possible. Because there's going to be a lot of stuff that needs repairing. Luckily, he didn't go through any of my paddocks. I wonder how he will damage a lagoon, actually. I'm curious about that. But he doesn't get anywhere near this side of the park, so that's absolutely fine. So we're going to skip ahead. It stops right there. Okay, what are we researching next, John? We're going to go for the GIGANOTOSAURUS. And again, this one, I don't even think that we incubated. It was just a Giganotosaurus, I think, the first one, because the TYLOSAURUS takes care of everything. So here, what we're going to do, we're going to place a viewing gallery just until I can actually afford to research the marine viewing gallery, which is the one that goes underground. And again, this is up to you. Maybe you don't have to research it. Maybe you can just use this. I put a couple of platforms and a viewing gallery in there as well, just to be certain. And we're going to add our ranger to this, the hatchery, marine hatchery, and our first marine reptiles, the Ichthyosaurus. Welcome to the park, guys. Hope you have a lacquer time here. Okay, moving on. The amenities down by the lagoon, as you can see, 125 potential guests. Yes, we will do that. right by the monorail and hotel and viewing gallery. Those will make an absolute killing. So what do we... Oh, there he is, Giganotosaurus. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one along is the one we used. And again, you don't need to go that far. You could probably just release one of the first carnivores there if you want to, or just focus on the lagoon. Make it bigger. Let's see where we've got TYLOSAURUS right here. The final expeditions that we're going to do for the TYLOSAURUS. We've got very close. Well, we've got 6 or 7 minutes left on the video. As you can see right here, you want to stick to public rating increase. No negativity to do with the public at this stage of the game. You want the monies. Guest comfort 91%. I was like, what? How is that not 100%? It's just because the stuff is being built over here. As you can see, I added a viewing gallery and stuff down there. I was very excited to get that bit of the park going, but I was more excited when I looked down and I saw I was on 4.9 stars. So no need to show what's happening over here unless you really want to. Let's move away. Research complete, large dinosaurs. And again, I wanted to do the T-Rex in the last area. Only 240,000 to research him. I was like, oh my god, I thought it was going to be millions. I didn't actually realize I went down to the point where I actually did research. But you definitely don't need that at all. I was just excited. I haven't released the T-Rex on challenge mode either. So again, just a quick clip on my awesome tip about reducing the transportation hit by creating your monorail, then attaching them once it's built. We're going to release some more ICHTHYOSAURUS right here. Again, just showing you the vital things that I'm doing. No need to stock it up with crap footage. And there we go. Moving on. Positive influence. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so we've got 1.6 million. Now, when we release the TYLOSAURUS, you look at the star jump now on the bottom right. It goes up to 4.2 or 3. There it is, 4.3. And there is the viewing, marine viewing gallery. And I put another one over there just to cover that back corner. Absolutely perfect spot right there. Connect those pathways, add some amenities where necessary. And you should be good as gold. If you have followed this step by step, and you have got to this point, and you're able to get 5 stars, let us know in the comments. I'd love to know that the videos are helping people and also creating a lot more fun than having to repeat the same thing over and over again. Here we go. TYLOSAURUS. Aggressive? No. We cannot have the aggressive guy in there. He could eat the other TYLOSAURUS within a minute of being released. Humble is good. Minus 30% environmental needs. This is what I was going for because I was afraid it wasn't going to be big enough. So that really, really helps. Potentially wouldn't be big enough if you didn't have that. And if he's the alpha, which he will be if he's the first one released, it's going to affect everyone. So you can take off that humble trait. Oh, I just realized that right now as I say it. The next one don't have to have that trait because the alpha will affect everyone. So let me write that down over there. That's also something. And here we go. Giganotosaurus is the final one we're going to expedition for. Having a look at the park appeal, 68. It's fine. 5,100. That's going to shoot up with the TYLOSAURUS. And he's going to be the star attraction. As you can see, profits on 20,000 on top of each of the amenities from the last time we saw that. And here we go. Skipped ahead. TYLOSAURUS is ready for release. Do it. Okay, now you look at the star rating on the bottom right-hand corner. It might take a couple of seconds to kick in once I remove the camera from him or her. It's a her. 4.7 stars. Now, if you look at that, go and have a look at your park rating and stuff, you'll see the appeal's gone up massively. We need to add some sharkies in here. So we're going to put it right there in between those two platforms. Absolutely perfect positioning. I'm still yet to see them eat the shark. I saw it in a video before the game came out. I have not seen it live yet. And here we go. We were so close. I was like, oh my god, we're going to finish this in the next 15 minutes. And then, like I said before, the damn storm hits. As you can see, guys, look how I've culled my scientists all the way down to just what I need to release the TYLOSAURUS. Literally, nothing else is going to be done. I think I might hire... No, I don't hire anyone here. So cull your scientists all the way down until you've got absolutely nothing. It'll greatly increase your profit per minute because you're not paying them. Well, you're not paying scientists that aren't there. So yeah, again, just a quick clip showing you to go back to your amenities, making sure they're all topped up. Because we're about to get 5 stars here now. And what happens? I'm pretty sure I was seconds away from getting it. And then the storm hits. And I was like, oh my lord, what is happening? But again, with the storm defense, everything that we're on at the moment, hardly any damage was caused by it. And we're going to skip ahead because there's no need to see it. So looking at the appeal, we're on 7,000 of 7,500. So release one more Tylosaurus, and you'll be good as gold. Was that tough? Yeah, it was pretty tough at the start, but smooth sailing near the end and middle. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please smash that like button for me if you enjoy the content, and subscribe if you are really enjoying it. If you have any questions at all, just ask me. I'm most definitely always going to reply. So I really hope that you are enjoying the videos that I've been putting out lately. So leave us a comment if you will, and let us know if we've helped you or not. So guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I want to catch you on the next one.